Good evening and salutations, my BNB fans. There's a guy in my live stream named Ron, and he always calls his show Rinse and Repeat, right? And he's not exactly wrong. I always sit there and say about him that I generally only sit there and take 10% of what he says, um, as truth or whatever, or as sane. And going into this episode, he's not exactly wrong. One of the issues that I'm having with this particular storyline with Finn is everyone keeps saying the same thing, but no one's giving him any goddamn solutions. They keep saying, you need to sit there and do whatever it takes to get rid of Sheila. So, Taylor, do you want him to kill Sheila? Is that it? You need to step up. How? This is something that has driven me effing nuts. Okay? This is a so-called world-renowned psychologist or psychiatrist, whatever, and you need to tell me that you can't get any tips to help him try to get Sheila to understand that he wants nothing to be a part. Like, you're not giving him any tips. You're not giving him any clues. You're not giving him anything. You're just acting like the same person that would have been off the streets and be like, you need to find a way to get rid of Sheila. But the thing is, Taylor is a different caliber because I'm pretty sure as a psychiatrist, you have tips and things you could sit there and say to kind of be like, you know what? If you string these words together, then maybe she'll get the hint. I mean, how many times does she have to sit there and deal with crazy and nut jobs every day? From the biggest to the smallest. And you're sitting there telling me the only thing that you can sit there and say as far as the greatest psychiatrist or whatever in the world is just find a way to get rid of Sheila? This is what I sit there and listen to for like get 20-something minutes. I'm like, this is so irritating. Blaming him for everything. Saying that, well, Sheila's going to sit there and ruin your marriage. Oh, really? Well, thank you, Tara. I'm so glad that we didn't sit there and see you in weeks. And the first thing you do when you come back is sit there and say stupid-ish. That's not really a solution. Which was Ridge was doing the same thing. Ridge was doing the exact same thing. Oh, he needs to sit there and find a way to get rid of Sheila. He needs to sit there and find... From what I understand, Ridge, you and Deacon, you and Bill effed up this whole getting her locked up. So why don't you sit there beating up yourself more for the shortcuts and things of that nature that y'all were doing to try to get Sheila in the first place? No. Because it's easier to sit there and put the blame on somebody else. That's generally how a lot of humans work. They rather sit there and blame somebody else than to take accountability for their actions. That's just the bottom line. And I don't know what the hell is going on with Deacon at this point. This is this whole this whole romance between her and Sheila is just in a lot of ways it's pretty stupid, right? But it's like the only way they can really sit there and keep her on canvas is by to have her have a relationship with him. So now I don't know. Oh, I don't want to be alone. Okay, well you're in LA. You're an attractive looking man. I'm pretty sure you can sit there and find somebody else that's not going to sink your relationships with the people that you love, possibly sink your business, and just in general, just F up your life. You sit there telling me that you can't find anybody else. You're so lonely that the only person that you can sit there and get is the psychopath that everyone can't stand, that everyone hates, that has caused so much pain to everyone that you love. This is the only woman for you. So stupid. This is so dumb. Taylor coming to Ridge's office to give her updates and Steffi and being like, well, Ben, you sit there and step up and you sit there and find a way to get rid of Sheila. And, Ridge is like, yeah, well, I have a way of getting rid of Sheila, but since it didn't cost me, 5 to 20 something years, so hopefully Finn could sit there and do something. So asinine. We went yesterday from Eric practically finding a way to, in a lot of ways, destroy his own company by causing a financial strain on the business. Here's the whole thing. Here's something I will sit there and say, Eric, listen, I'm Team Eric, but Eric, you want to sit there and do his collection? Put up your own money for it. You don't want to do it on the cheap? Okay, fine. You want to sit there and do this? I wish somebody would have said that too. You want to sit there and do this project? Fund it yourself. Fund this yourself. You want to sit there and do it. You want to sit there and go head to head. Okay, well, you got money, so do it. That's my whole thing. I don't have a problem. I mean, from a business standpoint, the fact that he can't see that, he doesn't want to see that, is an issue, right? I do admit that Ridge is being arrogant. The way he's talking to his father is very condescending. Practically wanting to push him out the company like he can't still work. If he wants to do a collection, let him do a collection. And I do understand that it is causing a toll on his health. So that is something to be definitely concerned about. Um, and this is something that he did sit there and say, and he didn't want to listen. But I get that. My thing is everyone has to sit there and make their own mistakes. You gotta make our own mistakes. We gotta push our limits, sit there and see how far we can take it. But once we hit that limit, we can't sit and ignore it like it's not there. Though I do love Donna, I do feel that I love the sticking by your man, but now you're doing it at a point to it's detrimental to his health. And telling RJ not to sit there and say anything, it's like, are you just choosing to it? Like, why are you choosing to? Like, that is asinine. That is pretty stupid. I'm not gonna lie. Um, that's how I felt about yesterday's episode. That's pretty much about today's episode, to be honest. I didn't really have this episode didn't really give me much of anything. I mean, everyone's just sitting there saying the same thing to Finn. Everyone's just riding Finn like there's no tomorrow. Oh, it's Finn's fault. Finn needs to do this. Finn needs to do that. Finn needs to sit there and be Finn. Okay? Finn needs to sit there and be Finn. He's told a sociopath more than once that he doesn't want to have anything to do with her. Unless you want him to sit there and take her out permanently, that's pretty much the only thing you can sit there and do. So everybody sitting there riding him is complete and utter. It's just complete and utter stupidity at this point. It is terrible, god awful writing, and it's so irritating to sit there and watch. To watch this woman come in and lecture this man was just mind numbing. I had to sit there and look at my phone and go on Instagram and TikTok and everything like that, watching videos because I just couldn't sit there and listen to another mind-numbing conversation, another lecture about how he should do something, but not smart enough and just pretty stupid, not sitting there telling him what he should do. Like everybody else who has been sitting there saying something about him. Last thing I will sit there and say, just to kind of give a little bit more thoughts about some of these other characters, and I may do that from time to time. If I don't sit there and do a review maybe the day before, Hope is on this whole ego trip. Okay, she is literally sitting there telling Thomas to fuel her ego. I want to hear that one more time. I want to hear you sit there and tell me you love me one more time. Even though I don't feel the same way, I don't know if I ever will, but I want you to sit there and tell me how you make me, how I make you feel, because it's about me. Apparently, that's what it really came down to. It was just like, this is such an ego trip, and it's like Thomas is so. I don't want to sit there and say a simp, but I don't know what else to sit there and call him. That he's just literally feeding into this level of nonsense. That's literally what it is. Anyway, I feel like that's pretty much about it. I can't think of anything else. Now, if I did forget anything, you know what to do. Come to the live stream tonight. Come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and talk about all the shows, Y&R Days, BNB, and GH. And if you're not a member, definitely hit the join button on the description box below. I do exclusive videos, takes on certain characters of different soap operas. Also, kind of give more people a little bit of a window of who I am. Personal things I will sit there and say in my um, members videos that I won't sit there and say anywhere else. So also members exclusive live streams and monthly member shoutouts. So I do a lot of stuff for the members. So if you join, it's definitely gonna be worth it. Anyway, that being said, I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next video.